What is going on, guys? Thanks for checking out this video, my sports Gematria. Just want to go over the last 7 seasons, some history for my picks, for some transparency, just so you know where I'm coming from. I had a good Sunday with the Chiefs and the Eagles, picking both those teams to win. But let's look over my stats for the last 7 seasons, and just to show you guys for transparency. I made a post here. Let me bring it up larger for you guys. All right, so 83% Super Bowl win ratio, 64% conference win ratio, 60% playoff win ratio last 7 seasons. The last 3 seasons have been great. The first three definitely weren't. Just how it goes, full transparency is what I'm showing you guys. No excuses. There's no such thing as flipping the script. I don't use that coping nonsense when I lose. My ego just isn't big enough to brainwash myself into thinking a billion or a multi-billion-dollar industry gives a flying fuck about my silly decodes that I do for less than 100 people. Okay, like I don't subscribe to that nonsense. With that said, it would be extremely difficult for you to find any other sports gematria decoder who's public on the worldwide interwebs right now that could actually give you their overall playoff record for the last 7 seasons, let alone break it down to conference games and Super Bowl games as well. I'm willing to bet a vast majority of the decoders that are way popular than I am couldn't even tell you their picking record for the last 30 days, let alone the last 7 years. So let's break it down here. Here are my stats for the last 7 seasons for the NFL Conference Championship games. Super Bowl 53, I went 1-1. Super Bowl 54, I went 1-1. Super Bowl 55, I went 0-2. 56, I went 1-1. And then in the last 3 seasons, 57, I went 2-0. 58, I went 2-0. And this weekend, Super Bowl 59, I went 2-0. Overall, it brings me to 9 wins and 5 losses for the NFL Conference Championship games in the last season, which brings me to a 64% win ratio. Here are my stats for the last 7 seasons for the Super Bowl games. In Super Bowl 51, I went 1-0. Super Bowl 54, I went 0-1. Super Bowl 55, I went 1-0. Super Bowl 56, I went 1-0. Super Bowl 57, I went 1-0. Super Bowl 58, I went 1-0. Super Bowl 59 will be determined, and I will have a picks preview video for that Super Bowl game. No worries, it'll be coming up. Overall, though, I went 5 wins and 1 losses in the last 7 seasons. Super Bowl 59 to be determined. Brings me to an 83% win ratio. And then here are my stats for the last 7 seasons for the playoff games as a whole, all together. So the last 3 seasons have been really great. The first 3 were. I'll show you right here. Super Bowl 59, I've gone 8-4 so far. Depending on the Super Bowl, I could either be 9-4 or 8-5. Super Bowl 58, I went 9-4. Super Bowl 57, I went 11-2. It's my best postseason in the last 7 years. Super Bowl 56, I went 7-6. Super Bowl 55, I went 6-7. Super Bowl 54, I went 5-6. And Super Bowl 53, I went 6-5. So 5-4, Super Bowl 54 and Super Bowl 55 definitely weren't good overall for the postseason. The first 3 were, but the last 3 are pretty good. So overall, I've done 52 wins and 34 losses in the NFL postseason in the last 7 years, bringing me to a 60% win ratio. So 60% overall for the playoffs, 83% specifically just for Super Bowls, and 64% specifically just for the conference championship games. I really appreciate you guys watching. I really appreciate the support. Those of you guys who have been showing me support over the years, I really appreciate it. I can't thank you enough. I just really enjoy, plugging in these numbers and doing the sports things, even though it's very frustrating. Um, when you're honest with yourself and honest with your work, and you accept losses, it could be frustrating. It's just a frustrating thing. But I've picked well over. Let me see. Let me bring up this little ticker at the bottom here. Oh, I've picked well over 5,300 picks, well over 3,200 wins, well, just over 2,100 losses for a 60% win ratio in the last 7 years. So, as somebody who's picked well over 5,000 games in the last 7 years, um, losing is just part of the territory. You just got to deal with it. But it is what it is. I really appreciate you guys watching. I really appreciate the support. I will see you guys in the next video, which will probably be the Super Bowl video, if not a basketball video. I'm going to start to look towards NBA now. And college basketball, I got off to a very terrible start with college basketball. But I do like March Madness. I do a bunch of March Madness games. So I got to start gearing up for that. But anyway, I appreciate you guys watching again. I appreciate the support. Hopefully, you win all the money in the world. Hopefully, you guys had a great weekend. Be safe out there. A lot of grifters, a lot of people that want to steer you the wrong way.